Buckcherry, the album 15, the song, as you know, Crazy Bitch. It's Josh and Keith. And
thanks for coming in tonight, guys.
What the f***'s up, guys? What the f***'s up?
Just touring our butts off.
Yeah? Are you busy? Very, very busy?
Yeah.
Can we say on this show?
Well, you just did, man.
It's all over the single, man.
It's all over. We were playing it on the radio. We might as well just play it on the interview, right? Well, what you been doing? I mean, for the last freaking 6 years. I mean, obviously we know there were some things going on. Have you talked to Slash yet recently? And tell a little story about what happened and what went down with Velvet Revolver and stuff.
What basically happened is that Josh and I went and started our own fat farm for fat girls.
That's great.
We were the camp counselors, and
I was in charge of diet and exercise.
Well, I was in charge of recreation.
You're the ripped one, Josh.
Can you at least tell New England how close you guys were to Velvet Revolver and what happened back there?
It just was never Velvet Revolver. We were never involved with that part of it, We did a show with Slash, Duff, and Matt, and for a Randy Castillo benefit in L.A., me and Keith and Slash, Duff, and Matt, and we did some GNR songs, a Buckcherry song, and a Sex Pistols tune, and an
Aerosmith song with Steven.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Mama Ken with Steven.
Cool.
And, there was such a big buzz around the show, and Keith and I had been just working on the third Buckcherry record with just, a friend of ours coming in and laying down drum tracks because 3 of the guys had quit when we got back from a Time Bomb tour. Yeah. So it was just Keith and I. So we just had a drummer friend of ours, and we were laying down demos. And when we did the show, it was like, it just felt really good to be in a band again. We were like, well, maybe we should talk to these guys and see if they want to be in a band. And they were thinking the same thing. And so we were a band for about, 2 months.
Right.
We wrote about 9 songs. And
we were rehearsing and taking, meetings with people and talking business and all that stuff. And then one day, the guy with the top hat walked in and said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Really?
What was the reason behind that?
There wasn't really a reason.
Yeah, he just kind of was, whatever.
That whole band, I
don't think he likes me.
That whole band has issues with committing to stuff, it seems.
I don't think I think he had a problem with a singer showing up to actually work every day.
He's not used to that.
My point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that experience give you new energy for what you're doing now? At least some of the reviews I'm reading are like you guys say you have a whole new energy to you when you're on stage right now.
It really didn't have anything to do with that. I mean, we've always been really motivated. It was just when we actually did decide to do this, we found 3 guys that it was really hard for us to find the right guys to be in the band, that wanted to be in the band for the right reasons. And when we found them, it was just, that was what really sparked all the inspiration, and the record just kind of came effortlessly,
Yeah, because they had to show up and not get paid right away. And there's this fallacy that when you're on TV that you've got $1 million, the $1 million TV fallacy.
Absolutely.
And so everyone that we talked to, all the musicians were like, that's cool, I'd love to come down. So what are you guys on retainer, or how does this work? And I'm like, no, dude, show up and play your guitar and shut up,
Yeah.
So the 3 guys that we were lucky enough to find were actually friends of ours. They're great musicians, and I think that the new record and the live show is
you can see it in the
evident.
Behind the Bitch video on your website. It just cracks me up. You guys had a lot of fun filming the video for it. You can see the interaction, especially between you two.
And this is no bullshit. Every day is like that on our tour bus. We're just having fun. We're having the time of our life. The shows are a blast. We love hanging out with each other. It's cool.
That's one of the coolest things, because we talked to a lot of bands. You can see it in their face. They're like, oh, we're touring. They're tired of it. You guys, at least from what I read about you, you seem like you enjoy actually being out on the road.
Yeah.
Can we talk about...
I know it's a pain in the ass, but I mean, for the most part,
No, for the most part, just... It gets, after a while, it's just tiring, always living out of a bag, It can get, we're on tonight will be the 83rd show, Wow. We've been going at it on and off since November, and we're still on our first single, so.
Do you look great? I saw you like 6-7 years ago in New York City, and I was like looking up at stage and looking at you and you're performing, and I'm like, that dude's never gonna last, man. He's a freak. He's out of his effing mind. And there you go, showing up again. It's really cool.
I am a freak.
It's Josh and Keith from Buckcherry. I'll say this: Josh looks a little to me like you got like a young Willem Dafoe going on.
There you go.
And Keith, I don't know if it's just for the show, but he's wearing a Boston Red Sox hat. You change hats every gig?
No, we had this conversation on the way in here, and you know what? I am a Red Sox fan.
Josh has more Dennis Leary, though, I think.
Yeah, I get Dennis Leary a lot.
You get that a lot?
I was
and
trying
you are a
to
Red Sox fan.
I am a Red Sox fan, for real.
for where you from? You from LA?
I'm from actually from Pittsburgh.
Oh, and
So
how did you
it's-
become a Sox fan?
Well, it's National League over there, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's totally
You know
cool.
what I mean?
And plus, you won't get a winner in Pittsburgh for another 60
40,
years.
50
Yeah.
years at least.
But you get those Steelers, so there you go.
You guys single? I mean, seriously. I mean, the
No.
crazy bitch thing. There's so many bitches out there just out of their effing minds right now.
There are a lot of crazy bitches out there.
Yeah, I
Thank
mean,
God.
I mean, to the point of, I mean, this has become now like a household name.
It's
I
an
mean,
epidemic.
MySpace, all this crap.
Sure.
Everyone wants to be the crazy bitch, and yeah, are you capitalizing?
Well, I mean, come on. We're like a roving band of Vikings.
Good for you.
And anything
Pillaging, man. I love it.
Anything that you guys can imagine, it's probably 10 times beyond that.
Okay, I like the
All
sound
right.
of that.
How's
Good.
that sound?
That sounds great.
Who
Lupo
was
is looking
the
forward to
original
that.
inspiration for Crazy Bitch?
Crazy Bitch is over like 3 years old. Keith and I wrote that song a long time ago. And it's not about anybody in particular, you know.
It's a tranny. It's some tranny who used to bum cigarettes off you guys, right?
It's just about a girl you love to F, and then when it comes to talking, it's a disaster, but you keep going back because the effing's so good.
Well, you wrote the song over 3 years ago, so did you have any, I don't know, do you have any idea it was going to blow up the way it has?
No idea. I just knew that the chorus was really hooky, you know.
Yeah, it's
And,
got a wicked hook.
You
to
know,
it.
it wasn't even the first single either. It kind of came out on the internet as our reintroduction to the band. And then satellite radio started playing it, internet radio started playing it. And then guys like you said, where's my clean version of that song without the F-bomb?
You know, the thing
you
was
go.
when we first heard this single, man, I was pissed because Steve and I want to play you guys, but we know we can't do it. We simply
Right,
can't do it with
sure.
us. And I'm like, there's no way anybody's going to get behind it. And finally, we get behind it, and it's just blown up, and we're pumped
yeah,
for you.
It's out of
Been,
control.
Our number one phones for 2 months.
I got to ask you though. I'm hearing tell. Now, be careful. Be careful treading the waters of the top 40, the CHR. I hear you're maybe working in a like a top 40 version of the
Pop
song.
version?
You know what?
Pop
That's really
version.
out of our hands. That's,
It is.
um,
How is that going to happen though? I mean,
you know what? I don't know, and I don't really. For us, we're a rock band. We really don't want to kind
Be
of.
interesting if that happened.
Ben-
well, I mean, this would be some fat dough there. I mean, some serious
Right, no,
money.
it's all
Right.
good. It's all good. But there's a fine line between like really taking it in the rear end and doing what you love to do and standing up for the piece of work that you created. So I don't know if there's a fine line to tread and we can make it happen. Awesome, but it's not going to be, hey, you're a crazy girl. That's not going to happen. You know.
It's Keith and Josh and Keith from Buckcherry. We really appreciate you coming.
All right,
in for
man.
the
Right on,
gig.
thanks.
Thank you.
We'll see you again.
See ya.